Hi there, my name is Guy. It's April 2023 and we here in Ottawa have just gone through a power outage which lasted in our neighborhood a day and a half. This video will describe how we ran major appliances from an electric vehicle during the outage. We have a 2015 Nissan Leaf with a battery that is pretty small by current standards. It was good for 24 kilowatt hours when it was new, but now it's down to 19. We found that running our gas furnace, fridge, freezer, and a few other appliances consumed 4 kilowatt hours per day, so had the outage continued, we should have been good for another couple of days before having to drive to a charging station. Now, to run your appliances from an EV, you'll need to convert the car's DC power to AC, and the device to do this is called a power inverter. The one I'm using is made by Renogy. It cost me $250 and it's rated at 1000 watts continuous power and 2000 watts starting power. That extra starting power is needed for a few seconds when you're starting up a motor like the blower motor in your furnace or the condenser motor in your fridge and your freezer. I chose an inverter that delivers a pure sine wave rather than a modified sine wave, because I didn't want to risk damaging the circuit board that controls our gas furnace or any sensitive electronics you might want to charge. The inverter connects across the Leaf's 12-volt battery terminals. I added Anderson connectors so that after initial installation, connecting the inverter to the Leaf is just a matter of plugging it in. Now, for access to the Leaf's main battery, you want to make sure the Leaf is turned on and in ready-to-drive mode before turning on the inverter and adding a load. Otherwise, you'll just be discharging the 12-volt battery. The extension cords we're using here are the heavy-duty kind made with number 12 wire to ensure that the cords and any motors we're running don't heat up. I borrowed a kilowatt meter from the Ottawa Library so that I could keep an eye on inverter voltage and power output during testing. So here is our gas furnace. By the way, why is it that the furnace, arguably the most important appliance in the house, does not have a plug? If the power goes out and you want to plug it into an alternate power source, what are you supposed to do? Anyway, I have interrupted the circuit feeding the furnace and added this outlet on the breaker side and this plug on the furnace side. During an outage, I can plug the furnace into an extension cord. I should mention that the inverter has a ground fault circuit interrupter feature which prevented it from running the furnace the first time I tried it. I think the current spike when the motor started may have looked like a ground fault, so the inverter tripped off. When I mentioned it to the folks at Renogy, they provided this workaround. When you remove the inverter's faceplate, you'll find a white GFCI jumper at the bottom right side of the circuit board. Pulling that jumper out disables the feature and allows the inverter to run the furnace. Just a few final notes about how we used this system. We have two extension cords, one for downstairs appliances and the other for upstairs. I don't run anything else when the furnace is on. The freezer and fridge can run together as long as I don't start them at the same time. Some appliances, like the microwave and the kettle, draw more than 1000 watts, so we just can't run them. Electronic devices can be charged at any time. The kilowatt meter that I mentioned earlier proved handy for helping us figure out how much power everything takes. The toaster, for example, is rated at 900 watts, so I was reluctant to use it, but the kilowatt shows that it actually draws 830 watts. So there you have it. Heat, light, coffee and toast, and no spoiled food. What more can you ask for during an outage? Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, I'm Guy, and you can reach me by just dropping me a line at ottawacentre@greenparty.ca.